Today, I just wanted to check in and give an update on how things are going with my Nike Chicago Marathon training plan. 7.86 miles, 7 minutes, 18 seconds per mile today, running a tempo run on Tuesday morning along the lakefront, getting in a really tough workout that unfortunately had a stiff headwind on the hardest part of the workout. But ultimately, I didn't hit some of my paces, but I did get in a really good workout today, really pushed myself out there and challenged myself. And I'm definitely tired for it. What I wanted to do today, and what I'm not going to do, just to put it out there at the beginning, is I'm not going to go over like the entire training plan. I know a couple of you guys have been asking for like the full layout of the plan, and I don't think I'm going to do that for a couple of reasons. The main reason being that this is not a plan that I've made. It's not a plan that I've even paid for. This is a plan that Nike has paid for someone else to put together for me on my behalf, and they did put it in a nice like booklet, and it took a while to get to me. I think there were some delays with the printers or something like that. We're at week 4 of this 12-week training plan, and I only got it just a couple of days ago. I've been going off of a Google Docs sheet that coach has put together for me. You know, I've never run a plan like this in terms of a marathon training session. And so I can't extrapolate like this is how I'm feeling, so this is how things are going to go later. Back when I ran the last Nike Unsanctioned race at the mile time trial, I ran into a lot of people that I know on Instagram or just from other runners in the Chicago running scene. A lot of them were talking to me, asking me how I thought it was going. And I basically said, well, I feel stronger. I feel like I'm faster. I don't know if that extrapolates out to running a faster marathon time yet. And the main reason for that and my concerns in that regard were that, number one, I'm being taken down a whole bunch in mileage. So I went from like 70 mile weeks to like 40 something mile weeks. And it was a big change. The other thing was that there was one 14-mile run, long run in the plan up to that point so far, but I missed it because that's the week that I was out in Wyoming running the Ragnar Trail Relay. So from the time that the plan started up to the point of that Nike Unsanctioned race, I hadn't run a run longer than 10 miles. And so I was starting to get concerned and anxious that, you know, I haven't really been pushing my respiratory system, because I feel like, or at least my aerobic respiratory system, because I feel like the recovery run paces are pretty quick, and I hadn't gone on any long runs. That's why last Saturday's run I thought was really important. It was a 15-mile long run, 12 miles at 30 to 90 seconds off of marathon pace, and then the last 3 miles being a fartlek of 3 minutes on, 2 minutes off. And that was a real gut check for me. I think that was the ultimate check. If I could hit those numbers, if I could get that workout done, then I would have felt like, okay, that passes kind of like the basic litmus test of, is this plan going to work for me, extrapolating from speed to marathon distance running. That workout went fantastic. I had a really great run. I had an enjoyable time running out in eastern Iowa when I was out there with my family and in-laws. And it was a great run. I came in at 7:53 for an average pace per mile, which is just about a minute slower than my goal marathon pace. And there was 1,800 feet of elevation change in that run. So a quite hilly loop. I ran the loop twice that I ran on that run. So I felt like with the amount of hills, with the terrain being rocky gravel roads, I felt very good about the times that I was able to put down for that 15-mile run. Today's Tempo Tuesday run was probably one of the most finicky of all the workouts that I've done so far. It was 6 times 400s at a split pace of 30 seconds at tempo pace and 30 seconds at 5K pace, going back and forth until you hit the 400, so about 90 seconds of running. And I was able to hit those paces, and then after that, after those 6 400s, was a 3-mile tempo. So that was also really challenging. The tempo pace for me is like a little bit between like 6:25 and 6:30, which is that's my last year's 5K pace. So it seems really, really fast. It's a hard effort for me. I was definitely struggling. I didn't quite hit that mark. On average, I came in at 6:38 per mile for those 3 miles, but still feeling really good about that effort. And then after that, there were a set of 5 strides, each one being 1/10 of a mile long. And that was supposed to be at mile pace. So I was able to get through that workout. The strides were pretty close. I needed to be a little bit faster on that. The tempo was pretty close. I need to be a little bit faster on that. But overall, that was one heck of a workout, probably the toughest Tempo Tuesday workout we've had so far. And again, I felt like I was able to, if not hit the marks there, at least get close enough where I felt really good about the adaptations and growth that I'm getting in the running fast department. And then combining that with the confidence of having a good last Saturday's workout, I feel like things are going well. So that's ultimately where I feel like things are going in the right direction with this plan. We've got a 17-mile run coming up on Saturday. Again, that'll be another really good check on my level of fitness. Not just doing a lot of this speed work, which is what we've been doing a ton of, but also extrapolating out that speed work towards a longer workout where we're going to be testing not only anaerobic fitness, but also aerobic fitness and building on that as well. So that's kind of just how I'm feeling so far, looking at this marathon training plan. I think things are going well. It's very different than the way that I've built my own marathon training plans before. You guys who have been here for a while saw how I constructed my marathon training plan for the tunnel marathon for my Boston qualifying attempt, which was basically set a number of miles for the week and run that many miles in that week. Every once in a while, I might have a long run with some mile repeats or half-mile repeats in there, but I did maybe 3 speed-ish workouts the entire training plan, getting ready for that marathon in June. This training plan has me doing 3 speed workouts a week. So it's very, very different. And I'm not sure a lot of the way as we go. But as I've talked about it, I'm fully invested in the way that this plan is run. I'm doing everything as prescribed. And so I'm going to give it that full effort, give the plan the chance to do what it does. I still have my own kind of barometers and checks that I'm doing along the way to make sure that this is something that's working for me or not, because I do have lots of different concerns in terms of my approach to running and my thoughts and philosophies on running and marathon training. But this is just a different style. This is a different approach. This is a different tactic. And I'm going to try and see how this fits and how that works for me, even though it's way outside of my comfort zone. So I feel good that some of the things that I'm concerned about are being addressed in terms of, can I still run a long run? And do I still feel like I have fitness? Have I forgotten how to run a long run is my biggest concern. And I think those things are lining up. So I'm seeing the progress. I'm certainly feeling different. I'm feeling stronger. I'm feeling much faster, feeling much more comfortable at certain paces and at longer durations. So all those are good confidence builders, but I just wanted to give you guys kind of an update because it's a short plan. There's not a lot of room for tinkering. There's not a lot time for adjustments. Not that I really want to make any adjustments with a plan so short and that's so different. I don't know how to ask or know when I should be making adjustments. So I'm just going to follow the plan, stay with it, unless coach says something otherwise. I do think that she's keeping tabs on me a little bit. I do have everything everywhere in social media, but also, I see her once a week when the group gets together on Thursdays. And so we do kind of have a little bit of a check-in there in terms of how things going, how are the workouts, that kind of thing. So going to keep forward with the plan. I think it's going well. The plan only has 9 weeks of work and 3 weeks of taper. Although there is a half marathon race that fits in that taper. So I don't really think it's a true 3-week taper. So there's 9, maybe 10 weeks of work on this plan. We're on the 4th week. So not quite halfway, maybe about a third of the way through. So far, still good, I think. So, before I go, I do want to remind you guys about the charity runner for this week. This week it's Bryce Turner, who's going to be running the Chicago Marathon, and he's raising money for Mercy Home for Boys and Girls. I've been happy to donate $70 to Bryce's fundraising efforts, and I'll post links in the description in case you'd like to learn more. That's all I have for today, everybody. Thanks so much for making it to the end of the video, and I will see you guys tomorrow.
Yo, what's going on?